Job interviews are two-way opportunities. An opportunity for the interviewee or applicant to sell themselves beyond what's written on their resume. And on the other hand, it's also an opportunity for the employer to assess whether the applicant is fit for the position being applied for. While most videos here on YouTube focus on how to answer common interview questions, we opted to approach this in a slightly different way.
Maybe it's time for a different approach.
We're going to go through these questions one by one and talk about how to answer them in such a way that will impress interviewers.
I have to say, I am impressed.
In short, we're going to focus on answers that interviewers or employers want to hear about. So with that, let's begin the top 10 most common inbound process interview questions. Number 1, tell me about yourself.
I'm here to help you get what you need. And the more you tell me about yourself, the more help I can be.
Though not actually a question, this is a common opener during an interview. Contrary to common notion that this question is just an icebreaker, this is actually very important. Your answer to this question establishes your voice. You know that expression, first impressions last.
Does anybody have any first impressions?
This is your chance to really make a good impression. Most interviewers will be looking at your resume while you're answering this question. You're expected to know your resume from the inside out. It's your resume after all. Nothing raises a red flag more than an applicant who's not even familiar with their own credentials. And quick tip, this is your chance to sell yourself beyond what's written on your resume. So while it's a good idea to go through your experiences related to the position you're applying for, you should also include something that's not written on your resume. A good example of this is a personal success story related to the position. If you're applying for a customer care representative position, tell a story about a successful issue resolution that you handled in the past. Number 2, why do you want to work for a call center? Let's face it, the honest answer here is the pay is good.
The pay is good, benefits are good.
You as the applicant know it, and the interviewer knows it.
Let's be honest with each other.
That being said, to give an answer that totally ignores this is going to sound like BS. So, how do you answer this? You do as magicians do, with a bit of misdirection.
Misdirection, a basic concept of magic.
Address the elephant in the room and say out loud. To be honest, one of the main reasons I have for applying for this is because call centers typically pay more than other companies. But after admitting that, immediately apply misdirection by saying something along the lines of, but the issue of salary aside, business process outsourcing is a multi-billion-dollar industry. That means it offers a lot of career advancement opportunities for someone like me who's willing to work hard, be goal-oriented, and offer value to an organization in the ways that matter most. You see what happened there? You admitted that salary is one of your main reasons for applying.
What do you want? 1 year salary with benefits.
But immediately arrested the thought by saying that you don't just look at a call center job as a source of income, but as a potential life-changing opportunity, as an opportunity to add value within that organization. And as a cherry on top of that answer, you were able to mention you're hardworking and goal-oriented. That's the kind of answer that interviewers will be nodding at. Number 3, what made you choose to apply to our call center? If you know someone who works there, say it. I have a friend who works here who just can't stop talking about how great it is to work for this call center. So I did my own research and found out he was right. This seems to be a good company to build a career in, so here I am. If you don't, answer in such a way that shows you didn't pick the company at random and that you actually did your due diligence. You can say, I took the liberty of looking at your website and I found out that all of the companies I was planning to submit applications to, this company is known to promote employees not just based on seniority, but also based on ability and merit. This answer shows you did your homework, and it also indirectly hints at your hardworking nature. And quick tip, actually do due diligence. Before the interview, do your research about the company. Look at their website, read testimonials, ask people who may know things about the call center. This way you can tailor your answers based on actual facts. Number 4, do you have experience with conflict resolution? If so, tell me about it.
Sorry, which one of us has our doctorate in conflict resolution? Because
This question aims to explore your general problem-solving skills. If you have prior experience working for a call center, you should be able to easily answer this. However, if you don't, make sure to cite an experience that clearly shows you know how to solve problems. For example, tell a story of how you sorted out an overcharged phone bill, or talk about how you helped a friend fix a PC problem over the phone. And quick tip, always have a story ready for whatever kind of call center position you're applying for. Have one story related to customer care, another for technical support, and another for outbound sales. Practice telling each story in a clear and engaging manner. Number 5, what is your understanding of customer service? Now, it's easy to give a textbook answer to this question. The problem is interviewers and employers have heard most, if not all, of the textbook answers. Customer service is upholding the principle that customer is always right. Customer service is making sure that customer issues and problems are resolved, etc., etc. In order to stand out,
I had to do something to stand out, right, sir?
you need to go beyond the question, think outside the box, and answer it in an unexpected way. One of the best answers to this question we've come across is, customer service is a way to turn a one-time customer into a lifetime client. This is because no matter how good a product or service is, if the company's customer service is bad, especially if a customer encounters a problem with the product or service, chances are the customer is not going to buy again. Speaking of thinking outside the box, are you looking to expand your operations, augment your existing workforce, and diversify your services, but you need a way to stay within a tight budget? It's time to think outside the box with C9Staff. C9Staff offers flexible staff augmentation solutions tailored for your specific needs. We have access to 35 high-quality but low-cost international talent markets. This means whatever your position requirements you have, we can source it for you. Plus, the professionals we deploy are guaranteed to speak fluent English and work in your time zone. And the best part is you get truly world-class creative professionals working for your team, and you still enjoy up to a 70% savings in payroll and related operating costs. For more details, you can schedule a free consultation at www.c9staff.com. Links are in the description below. Now back to the most common inbound process interview questions. Number 6, how would you handle an irate customer? Here's another example of a question that can be easily answered by a textbook response, such as, I will be patient and do my best to really understand the customer's problem. I will not lose my composure and help the customer calm down. Guess what? That's actually what you're supposed to do on every customer care call. It's not that the answer is wrong, it's just that the answer is going to be the same as the several other 100 applicants who got that same question. So how do you stand out? For example, you could try this. If I come across an irate customer, I'm going to treat them the same way I treated the customer before him and the customer that comes right after, with calmness, clarity, empathy, and an open mind. Number 7, how would you tell a customer something that they don't want to hear? Situations like this arise when there's really no resolution for the customer's issue, such as a delayed shipping issue, expired warranty, declined refund, amongst others. The standard answer to this question will have something to do with being honest, being open, and being transparent. You already know the customer is not going to be happy with what you're going to say, right? You might as well get it over quickly. It's like pulling a band-aid off, right? Well, in customer service, when breaking bad news to the customer, it never hurts to add a little cushion to lessen the impact. Now, one of the best ways we've heard this question answered by an applicant was with a good news, bad news recommendation format. For example, hello, Mr. Customer. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is we found the nature of the problem. The bad news is we can't solve it the way that you were hoping. However, we can recommend that you do this instead. Now, you would need to fill in the details. The secret is to be as clear and sincere as possible as to the reason behind the bad news and to frame the recommendation as the most intelligent course of action given the nature of the situation. And quick tip, again, do your due diligence. Since this is a hypothetical question,
So, can I ask you a hypothetical question?
choose a hypothetical situation that's related to the industry or the company you're applying to. For example, if the call center handles an account for consumer electronics products, you can go for a hypothetical situation of a customer calling in with a problem not covered by the manufacturer's standard warranty. For example, Mr. Customer, thank you for getting in touch with us. I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is I've spoken with our technical team and they've identified the problem. The bad news is that the issue that you have is not covered by the warranty as clearly stated on the warranty card. However, this is a pretty well-known problem, so we recommend to have another technician fix it for you. This option will be convenient and will probably cost less than sending the item in for a repair. Number 8, how well do you cope with pressure? HR professionals usually add this question as a means to initially determine a candidate's psychological readiness for the job. Customer service can become really stressful sometimes, and it's important that you have the mental capacity to handle pressure and not break. What interviewers usually look for as an answer to this question is a specific action that shows you have a mental and psychological system in place that helps you cope with pressure. For example, whenever I feel pressured or when I find myself in a stressful situation, I train myself to pause, do a simple controlled breathing exercise where I count out 5 seconds to inhale, 5 seconds to hold my breath, and 5 seconds to exhale. I do this 10 times. Doing this allows me to clear my mind and focus on the task at hand. With this answer, not only did you show you have a specific action to take to cope with pressure, but it also indirectly shows that you're used to handling pressure and stress because you have a pre-planned action already. Number 9, what are your strengths and weaknesses? This is a common and for many applicants, tricky question. Interviewers will expect your strengths to include hardworking, quick learner, team player, coachable, dedicated, so on and so forth. And there's no other way to say what your strengths are. So what interviewers are really looking for is how you describe the nature of your strengths, and in particular, how you describe the nature of your weaknesses.
I had a moment of weakness.
And this calls for another act of misdirection. The idea is to mention a strength disguised as a weakness. Here's one of the best answers we've come across. One of my worst weaknesses is that I tend to develop tunnel vision when I'm working on a task. For example, when I'm presented with a problem I need to solve, I become so involved in the intricacies of solving that specific issue that I end up tuning everything else out around me. Nothing matters to me in that moment except solving the exact problem that I've been tasked with. See how that worked? A weakness, which is having tunnel vision, is used to indirectly state a strength, which is tenacity and single-mindedness in solving the problem. Number 10, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? This question is designed to measure ambition and the ability to think forward. Again, the key here is to be specific and witty. It's not enough to say 5 years from now, I see myself as a successful and productive member of your team. I will have been promoted several times already, and I'll be looking forward to another 5, 10, or more years within the company. Instead, say something along the lines of, 5 years from now, I will either be in a meeting with the rest of the top management brainstorming about how to expand the company's revenue, or I'll be reviewing managerial applications for a new site for our operations. In other words, be specific and relate it to the part of the company you seek to advance within.
5 years from now, you could be anything else in the world.
And quick tip, in order to really pull this answer off, make sure you've built sufficient rapport with the interviewer throughout the interview. Also, dial down on being superficially overconfident and phrase it in a way that is both humble as well as grateful for the opportunity if such advancement opportunities should arise. So there you have it, the top 10 most common inbound process interview questions and the answers that interviewers and employers are looking for. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media channels. Links are in the description below.